There are 3 times in everybody's life where you're expected to cry. The day your child is born, your wedding day, and the first time your parents leave you when you move to college. Some of you might have experienced that already, but for those of you that haven't, but will be very soon, this video is for you. You are going to get more unsolicited advice at this time in your life than you ever will again. People will constantly be telling you things like, these will be the best years of your life. College is the last real break before the real world. It will never be this easy to meet people again. People are going to tell you that you have to do things. I guarantee at some point, somebody's going to come up to you and say, you got to come out for this one club. You got to go out to this one party. You got to have a few drinks. I'm not saying you can't do any of those things, but I think you should ask yourself right now, what are your priorities in college? What do you want your college experience to look like? Am I going to drink? Do I have a limit? Now, these are things that most people never think about beforehand. I'll decide later, in the moment. That'll be more fun. You know what this usually leads to? People doing something that they don't want to do and doing something that they later regret. You know that one class that everybody talks about like it's the worst class in the world? At Pitt Business, this class is called Business Calculus. People would take this class in the summer at a community college to avoid taking it at Pitt. People pretty much just said, you take what you can get in this class. Maybe if you don't have that one professor, maybe if you have some calculus experience, then maybe you'll survive. Well, I had that one professor, and I had 0 calculus experience. Despite what everybody told me, I decided I was going to work as hard as I could in this class anyway, and just see what I could get. I remember printing out 6 practice exams for the final, finding a secluded space in the business building, spreading them all out in front of me, timing myself, and that was my entire Sunday, just doing all those full-length practice exams. You want to know what I ended up getting in that class? And the reason I'm telling you this is because while it's true that people at this point in your life are going to tell you that you have to do things, people are also going to tell you that you can't do things. You want to get into that club as a freshman? You want to go into that industry? You want to get an A in business calculus with that professor and no calculus experience? Good luck. Now listen, most of my life I wasn't a great student. Grades aren't everything. But the point isn't the grade. It was that was the first time I realized that I could do more than people thought that I could. And I promised to myself after that I was never going to limit myself to anything again. It's the difference between believing you can do something and knowing you can do something. And I think everybody deserves to know what that feels like. Think of the greatest athletes of all time. Tom Brady, drafted in like the 500th round. Muhammad Ali, greatest boxer of all time. Nobody thought he was going to beat George Foreman. And Michael Jordan, famously, did not make his high school basketball team. A lot of them had a ton of doubters at the beginning, but they always believed in themselves. So you know what I think when people doubt me? It just means that I have big dreams. And you know how much it costs to have big dreams? Absolutely nothing. Now, when I was where you're at right now, I didn't want to go to college. I loved my hometown. I loved my high school. I was going to miss all my family and my friends. I just remember the night before college, I had one thought in my mind, and that was that I didn't want to go to Pittsburgh anymore. But despite all of that, I did go. And I look back now, I see how much I've grown. I see how much I've learned, the accomplishments I've had, the awards I've won. I did things people in high school never would have believed if you would have told them. I made so many friends, met so many people, and had so many great experiences that I will never forget. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. There were bad times too. I had my stressful moments, late nights, days without a single moment of free time. I dealt with loneliness, rejection, and failure like you wouldn't imagine. But you know what? When I look back at everything, those 3.5 years of my life, there's not a single thing that I would change. You'll see what I mean. Day 1, moved in. Here we go.